Hi, so I'm here with Curtis Woodhouse, the new first team manager. Welcome to the club, Curtis.
Thank you.
I will need to ask you a few questions, please, for the fans. So, can you tell us where you come from before today?
My last club was Tadcaster Albion. So yeah, I had a great time there. Wasn't there overly long. Went there at the start of the season when the club was in a little bit of disarray, to be fair, and I put a great run together. Left them second in the division with, I think, 4 games in hand. So yeah, that was a club before I arrived here, and yeah, I can't wait to get started now. I'm really excited about the future of Gainsborough and where we could end up.
Excellent. So what about your experience as a player?
So long time ago. I first started out as a 17-year-old boy at Sheffield United. Was my first ever club. Went on to become their youngest ever captain and the youngest ever player of the year, and then I moved to Birmingham City for £1 million. Played against some great players and had a great time, and went to a few clubs after that, and ended up retiring at 26 years old, which is still young, and became a professional boxer. Went on to win the British light welterweight title, hence my crooked nose.
Amazing. So which other clubs have you managed apart from Tadcaster?
Bridlington Town. I had a great time there, really enjoyed it. A club that's close to my heart. When I was a young boy playing for Bridlington Rangers under 10s, we always used to play our cup finals at Bridlington Town's ground at Queensgate. So really enjoyed my time there, working with Pete Smurthwaite, and we had some good success. Won a couple of cups and finished 3rd in the league, I think, in our first season. My first ever club as manager was Sheffield FC, which was difficult. It was my first. Dipped my toe first into football management and didn't actually realise how difficult the job was. I'd just been used to being a player where you play, you go home, you don't really think about the game again. Yeah. But as manager, you sit in bed thinking, did I get that right? Did I get that right? And it's such a different environment, really.
There's a lot of work and thought that goes on behind the scenes, isn't there?
Yeah, it's when people say you're a part-time manager, I'm like, well, you take my phone for the day and you see if it's part-time. It is 24 hours a day if you want to be successful. And my time at Sheffield FC, even though it was a real eye-opener, it really whet my appetite. Really think, oh yeah, I really enjoy this. There's nothing better than winning a game as a manager. You know, from the playing point of view, you know, obviously it's great when you win, but as a manager, you feel like you've put more into the result. And I've loved it, and I've gone from strength to strength, really, and had some difficult clubs to manage in difficult financial circumstances. But at the time, you think, oh, this is a nightmare. But looking back now, at the teams I've managed, it's been a blessing, a real blessing.
It's a good experience as well, isn't it?
Fantastic, yeah. And you know, I've been through so much to manage. I think I've been managing nearly 10 years now already. I'm only 39, and so I've got a wealth of experience already. And I really feel like I'm really at a great place now to really push on. And I was just saying to Richard, when I come to Gainsborough, I feel like I'm at a proper football club, and I can't wait to get going and really stamp my print on the football team. You know, we're going to be energetic, going to be able to get around the pitch. I want to bring some real pace into the team, you know, because, like I said, this is a hard job, football management. So when I turn up on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, I want to enjoy watching my team play. So I want to put a team together that's exciting and great to watch.
Excellent. So now you've got a lot of management experience under your belt. How would you describe your style?
How's my style? Like I said, I love my team to have energy. You know, because like I said, I always try and look at myself as if I was watching this team, would I enjoy watching it? And that's how I try and build my team. Loads of energy, all action. You know, always score plenty of goals. So yeah, very, very attacking. And yeah, and hopefully that gets some results, as done in the past. Hopefully we can continue to do it here. We've got a good squad here. I think it needs tinkering. You know, I'd like to see a little bit more energy in the squad, a little bit more pace. But we've got the nucleus of a decent side. But I definitely think we need some bodies in to freshen things up.
Cool. What drives you, not just necessarily as a football manager, but just in life, away from football?
I'm very ambitious in everything I do, really. I always like to set myself what people call crazy tasks. You know, when I retired from professional football at 26 to become a professional fighter, I said I was going to win the British title, and everyone was like, you've got no chance. And I kind of enjoy that, striving towards something.
Yeah, you know? Don't tell me I can't do it, because I'll do it.
Yeah, that's the type of my personality. And like a lot of people said when I came here, how come you're leaving Tadcaster in a fight for promotion to join in a relegation dogfight? So that kind of, you know, a little bit of a fire underneath me, and I don't see this as a relegation dogfight. I know we're second from bottom at the time, but this club's got potential to be a hell of a lot better than that, and I see this as a great project to get us back you know, in the Conference North and really competing. And that, you know, I do love setting myself targets, because I like waking up every morning with something to do, something to prove, and something to achieve, and that really inspires me. Really. Yeah, I love it.
So obviously you know quite a bit about Gainsborough Trinity, as we've heard, but what do you know about the league that we're currently in? I
know quite a lot. You know, like I said, managing in the league below with Tadcaster, I've watched so many games in and around this level. So yeah, I know quite a lot. I'm not totally familiar with all the teams we'll be coming up to, so I'll be working closely with the scouts and trying to get as much information as I possibly can. But my main thing is, let's concentrate on getting our team how we want the team, and you know, hopefully let other teams worry about what we're doing instead of trying to bog myself down with they do this. Let's implement what we do and see how they can deal with us.
Okay, so my next question was going to be about where do you think things have been going wrong and what do you intend to do, but you've already covered that, about sort of maybe reviewing the squad and getting a bit more energy on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where, you know, the games that I've seen, I think at times we have lacked a little bit of energy. That might come from confidence as well. You know, when you're down near the bottom. You know, I've played in teams myself that no matter what happens, you just can't get a result, and that can bog you down. And I just feel that, you know, maybe there's a few players in the squad that are maybe feeling that pressure. Hopefully a new manager can come in and spark it up and get it going again. But yeah, you know, like I said, I love watching my teams run their socks off, running other teams into the ground, pace out wide, you know, and like I said, fullbacks bombing on. I want a team that I can sit here, stand here on a Saturday afternoon and be like, yeah, that's my side.
So you've clearly had some long conversations with our chairman, Richard Kane. Have you spoken to anybody else at the club about
I've tried to speak to as many people as possible. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours, but yeah, I've spoke to plenty of people, and Richard's been great, and you know, kind of showed me as much as he can. But like I said, the main thing for me is I want to get my hands dirty. You know, talk is cheap, I like to say, and a lot of people do a lot of talking, but let's get on and get some things moving. And can't wait to take training tonight. Really excited to see what the boys are all about. We've got an 11v11 this evening against the reserves, so it's a good chance for the lads to really show, listen, Gaffer, I'm your man, good moving forward. So I'm really looking forward to that. But like I said, talk's cheap, isn't it? Let's get the boys out on the grass and let's get our hands dirty and see what we can do.
Obviously your first outing is on Saturday away at Dunstan in the FA Trophy. How far do you think we can go in that competition?
Well, it's a competition that can lead to great things. You know, we've got a tough game. Dunstan are a good side, and I know them quite well. Obviously, from being at Tadcaster, I've got a report on them, so it'll be a difficult game, but also a great game, because to go to Dunstan and get a result, we're going to have to dig in and fight. So I'll get to find out on Saturday who's with us and who isn't. And like I said, the ones that are not a problem, we'll move them on.
So what can the Trinity faithful expect to see from the side now? Have you got a preferred playing style?
And until I fully assess the squad, you know, I kind of don't want to say we'll be playing this formation, that system. You know, I think when you first go in, it's important that we play a system that's going to suit the lads, you know, and then over time I can bring in a few of my own players that suit what I'm looking for. Then we'll look to play a system that I prefer to play. But at the minute, the main thing is let's just get some points on the board. Let's get a good response on Saturday. If we can get a victory, fantastic. And then, you know, we've got some really tough fixtures coming up. And like I say, over the last 24 hours, I've touched base with a lot of players, so expect quite a bit of movement in the squad, and try and stamp my authority down on the squad really, and get some players in, you know, that I know can do the job that I'm looking to do.
Okay. Do you have any pet hates or specific standards that you expect people to meet?
Oh, in football? I thought
no. Well, you can have those if you wish.
Yeah, and go on forever. I've got a wife and 3 kids at home, and they tick every pet hate that I've got, so I could go on forever. But you know, one thing that drives me mad with football is he's lazy. I can't have players being lazy. You know, to play in my teams, you've got to run. You've got to be able to cover every blade of grass. You know, I expect my attackers to defend from my front. I expect my midfielders to run all day. I expect my defenders to defend the goal like their life depends on it. But energy, you know, if you can't run around or don't want to run around, you're not going to be able.
And finally, have you got a message for the supporters?
Get behind us. We need you. Like I said, we're second from bottom in the league, so there's going to be some tough times, but we need you. We need you to get behind us. You know, like they always do, to be fair, the interviews that I've seen, you know, the fans have, even though the position the club are in, have always been right behind the team. We just need that to continue. It's been my job to get some better results and give us something to cheer about.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Curtis, and
My
thank you
pleasure.
for making my first interview easy.
No problem.
All right, nice to meet you.
You too.